Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a Firebird tutorial. It's a really cool dance move and I think it looks great in pictures, so let's just get started. So before you start leaping, make sure that your back and your legs are really well stretched, otherwise you might pull a muscle or hurt yourself and you really don't want to do that, so just make sure you're really well stretched. And I have a whole video on stretching for doing your splits and stretching your back, so you can watch those, or I'll just do a really brief stretch right now. So you just want to bend to the side and back. And then you want to do your bridge or your back bend. If you can't do a bridge or a back bend, I would really not recommend doing this move because it will hurt your back and it does require a lot of back flexibility to make it look good. So yeah, just make sure of that, and also it looks ideal if you have your splits too. So you can watch my splits tutorial on that, but before you start doing Firebirds, just make sure you do some lunges and you really stretch out your legs. And not only do you want to stretch your back and your legs, but you do want to stretch your neck because you are going to be whipping it back. So just make sure you go side to side and around too. So first in a Firebird, you're going to take one step. Just try it out on both sides to see what side is your dominant side. So my better side is my right. And what you're going to do is you're going to take one step with your right foot if you're on the right, and you want it to be turned out because your other foot is going to meet it in fifth position like this. And you're going to do a huge plie, and then you want to make sure that you're not hunched forward and that your seat is tucked under you. And make sure that your legs are turned out or your Firebird will look really messed up. So you step into fifth. You can do arms second, first, and then you're going to bring them up to fifth. When you do your jump, that's the main way I do it. You can put your arms in other positions, but I think that way just looks best. So first your right leg is going to shoot out to 45 degrees in a dégagé, and your back leg is going to be in a beautiful attitude, which is just like a flick kind of, but you're in the split position in the air, except for your back leg is bent. So this is what it should look like. And when you're doing your Firebird, you really want to snap your back backwards, and you want to be looking straight up, and you want to think about lifting your legs too, but just make sure that the back leg is higher than the one on the floor, because otherwise it's a different leap when you're doing it straight out instead of tilted. Another tip for Firebirds is you want to jump like with a lot of power, and you want to like jump as high as you can, because otherwise your right leg won't get up very high, and then you'll kind of just like crash to the ground, and this leg won't get very high either, and it looks really cool when both legs are super high and really high off the ground as well. Also in your Firebird, when you're looking up, you should be able to see your foot, and if you can't see your foot, you might want to like jump higher and really try to flick that back leg, and you probably won't be able to see your foot if you don't have your splits. So it's really great if you have your splits, so please go watch my splits tutorial if you don't have your splits, because it really makes this move look a lot cleaner. And so when you're in the air, you are going to see your foot, and it's kind of scary at first, you know, looking straight up while you're in the air, but just really focus on the spot on the ceiling or the sky, and you should be good. It might make you a little dizzy after you land, so just really like take it slow, maybe slowly work your way up to the big leap. I would recommend doing some dégagés and doing the flick. The flick is the biggest part about this move. If you can't do an attitude already, I would really recommend trying them just to have the motion. So, you know, you can just do sweep and flick, and it'll really get your body used to that feeling, because it is kind of a shocking feeling. It does kind of like hurt your back a little bit when you whip it if you aren't properly stretched, and if it's your first time, obviously it's going to kind of be like, oh, a shocker when you know, whip your back like that. And if you aren't whipping your back, the Firebird will not look right. You really do need to arch, and you do want to lean towards your back leg, but without your hips being straight forward. You want them to be in line. You want to be arching not from your hips like this, but from your back. So it should look really natural and really nice. So just make sure of that. So I think that's all for Firebirds. Just make sure your front leg is really straight and pointed and turned out, and same with your back leg, except for, of course, your back leg is going to be bent. Make sure you're arching, looking upwards. And yeah, that's it for the tutorial. The main tip I have for Firebirds is just keep practicing them, and also you really want to snap your legs at the same time. If your legs aren't going at the same time, it's going to look really, really weird. So just try to think about, like if you have two strings on both of your legs and you're just yanking them up at the same time, you don't want them to be all lopsided. So just keep practicing and your Firebirds will get better, and good luck!